Hello and welcome back to Off Grid Style. I'm Nikki, and today we're discussing hacks to save you money on food. And I have covered some of these items that I'm going to talk about in other videos, but I really haven't done a dedicated video to how to truly save money on food nowadays. Over $408 billion is thrown away in food by Americans each year. And the average American family throws away $1,200 to $1,500 on average in food each and every year. With 60% of Americans living paycheck to paycheck, this really can change the ball game for you and everyone else if they just implement some or all of the tips, tricks, and hacks I'm going to share with you. So let's get started and find out ways we can save more money. Plan your meals for the week and stick to it when you go shopping. So sit down on whatever day is best for you, make out your list of what you're going to cook for the whole week, and go ahead and make your shopping list off of that. Don't impulse buy. Buy in bulk whenever possible for your non-perishable foods. So things like rice, pasta, canned goods, beans. But be sure you purchase things that you're actually going to eat. Don't just go out and buy 50 pounds of rice when half your family hates rice, for instance. Just make sure that you're buying things that you're actually going to use, or you're really not saving any money. Eating out versus cooking at home. And I've shared this in another video, I forget which one it was, but eating at home is a huge savings over going out, going through a drive-through, or whatever it might be. My food bill, my actual food bill, and that include dining out, to go, somebody delivering, was between $500 and $800 a week at one time. I was working a whole lot. Now that I am cooking at home virtually every single night, my food bills, now this doesn't include the other sundries like, paper towels and things like that, but my actual food bill has dropped to about $250 per week because I am cooking every single night instead of door dashing. Make extra portions of the meal that you are cooking and save the rest to be used at another time. Perhaps you'll eat it for lunch or dinner, or you'll use the meat that you cooked in another type of meal. As an example, I buy 3-pound tubes, if you will, of hamburger at a time. And I cook, when I'm ready to use it for a meal, I go ahead and cook the whole entire tube of hamburger. I cut it for whatever portion I need that night. Then I save the rest for another meal in a night or two, or I will go ahead, food saver it, and freeze it. That way I've got it ready to go and nothing goes to waste. Look for coupons, discounts, and sales. And I know coupons are so a thing of the past, but they do still have digital coupons in a lot of grocery stores. So for instance, I was at the grocery store last week. I needed laundry detergent, and Tide was on sale for $3 off. But there was a little sign on there that said, if you activate the coupon in the app, you would get an additional $4 off. So I just got that Tide for half price from what it originally was marked at. And a lot of times it's usually the things like laundry detergent, toilet paper, paper towels, and things like that that you can find those digital coupons on. Choose store brands whenever possible and whenever it is an equal type of item, but compare their prices to the national brands if the national brands are on sale, because sometimes you can get a really good buy on national brands. Look for the item price or the price per ounce and compare them and see which one is cheaper. Seasonal shopping is another great way to save money. As an example, when produce is in season, it typically is going to be less expensive and fresher than if you're attempting to buy corn in December, as an example. Another example is turkeys and hams. Thanksgiving and Christmas, you can buy all the turkey and ham you want, and it's on sale dirt cheap. I looked just out of curiosity the other day. A frozen turkey, 12 pounds, was $34 at my grocery store because it's not the season for it, so they can gouge you right now. Buy an extra turkey, buy an extra ham. If you have the freezer space, go ahead and buy them and cook them and freeze the meat. And this way you'll have those for dinner other times of the year. Also, a thing that a lot of people overlook is your frozen veggie aisle. Look for deals on frozen vegetables. I just bought 4 bags of green beans for $1. It was a steal, and they're still good on their expiration date for at least another year. You tend to have fresher vegetables in the frozen section than you do canned. I love the taste of them better, and they're better to use in recipes. Avoid prepackaged and convenience foods. But having said that, I will tell you that this is kind of prepackaged. I was looking at, my husband loves chocolate chip cookies, so I was looking at those, and they wanted $6 for 18 cookies. I went over to where they have the dough, the cookie dough, and I could buy 3 times as much cookie dough as those 18 cookies for the exact same cost. Then all I need to do is pop in a sheet of cookies whenever he wants them, and he's got nice fresh cookies, and I got 3 times as much, and they last for a while. The actual expiration date is quite long. Compare, I mentioned this a little bit ago, compare the actual price per unit, like the price per ounce. It's usually how it's listed. Sometimes it'll be price per item that's in that prepackaged whatever, to figure out what the actual cost is to you. Don't just go and buy or grab the national brand just because that's the one you know. If they both have the same ingredients in them and you can easily flip them over and see, then why not buy the one that is least expensive? Obviously, Dale's does not count for this. There is no replacement for Dale's. Dale's is what we put on our meat, just saying. But Charmin is my preferred brand of toilet paper, as an example. They now make an essentials brand and or model, if you will. And my father-in-law and my husband actually love the essentials brand more than the original Charmin, and it's 1/3 of the price. Join stores' loyalty programs. They will give you extra discounts, like the digital coupon that I mentioned for the Tide, also special offers and cash back. So I save an average of $75 to $100 by shopping smart and shopping sales every single week when I go to the grocery store. Okay, that's the number one way I save. I use my loyalty card. Number 2, I earn cash back for every dollar I spend at that same grocery store. So by the end of the month, I go once a week, and by the end of the month, I'm at $50 to $75 on average of cash that I can then use towards my purchase of food. So I'm saving there as well. I also use the BOGOs. Example, I love when they do BOGOs on their 5-pound bags of potatoes, because I will use one bag. The other bag I will go ahead and boil, dehydrate, and turn into potato flour that I then store. So look for things like that as well. I've already kind of preached this to you, but you need to cut down on eating at drive-thrus, restaurants, and having food delivered. Save it for special occasions. If you are craving pizza, then stop at the grocery store on your way home, pick up a couple pizzas, you throw them in the oven, and you're good to go. Or you can go ahead and kind of make it a little bit more fun and make your own pizza. All the ingredients are there at the grocery store, and everybody can kind of join in and have their own choices for toppings. And it's a heck of a lot cheaper, and it's a quick meal. Throw a salad in with it, and you've got a great meal for any weeknight. Avoid impulse buying. Stick to the list that you walked in the grocery store with, and almost put blinders on towards any of the end caps and the places in the very front, because those are places where they're trying to get you to impulse buy. I do, however, keep a list on my phone of my long-term storage needs. So for instance, perhaps I need more rice. We've gone through a lot of rice and I need to go ahead and stock back up on it. If there's a sale on it, then I'll go ahead and purchase it. But it's not an impulse buy. I'm still working off of a list, just a slightly different one than my weekly list. Have a leftover night or two every week. Cook a larger meal, whatever you can, end up with. Don't throw that food away. Turn it into having a leftover night, or like I do with the hamburger, go ahead and save that leftover meat to turn it into another meal. You will save money very quickly doing this. I spend $10 for 3 pounds of hamburger, and it gets me 2 meals and several days worth of leftover lunch. Invest, if you don't already have one, in a slow cooker, crock pot, whichever one you want to call it, or an Instapot, or both. They basically work the same. The Instapot has way more features than just working as a slow cooker, but definitely look into this because you can buy cheaper cuts of meat and you can throw them into one of these appliances and they always will turn out tender and they'll be more flavorful and great for any dinner, and they're easy to use and make dinners out of. If you have extra food that you know you will not use before it spoils, then don't just shove it in the back of the refrigerator. That's money you're shoving back there. Go ahead and wrap it up into, a zip bag, or I use my food saver, and get all the air out you possibly can and mark on it what it is and throw it in your freezer. This way, down the road, you'll have that to use and you didn't throw out that money. When the store has deals on, beef, chicken, or pork that is about to go out of date, you'll see this quite often. I go ahead and buy it and I food saver it and I freeze it. And this way, there's nothing wrong with it. And this way, I've got that meat to use when I'm ready to. So if you're wondering if these things work, as I've sort of hinted and mentioned, I have implemented, a ton of these ideas.
Here are my average food savings per month. So you can get an idea of what exactly I am saving simply by implementing the things that I've discussed with you today.
It's easy to do if you just plan a little bit and think about it a little bit. And so I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas that you do, please share them with me. I would love to hear from y'all. You know that already. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all the fun things that I like for you to do. And I'll see you again soon.